So next up is tier 4 then, and you are going to need to go to the Nether for this. The first thing you're going to see in the Nether, often near lava and quite low down, is Nether Cobalt ore. Now, because this is from the fiery depths of hell itself, we do actually need something even hotter than lava in order to burn this. And then we get to the Foundry. So we had the smeltery, and now we have the Foundry. The Foundry is really interesting. It works exactly as the smeltery does, with all the same things. Now, I did notice I had to... you can see there's this red box appearing here. I had to actually put a floor in the corners here for the Foundry. So where the smeltery never needs corners and the flooring is only... Well, you can't really see, but the flooring is there, but like it's not on the walls. The Foundry does seem to need it to be a wall for the floor and have corners. So that's just what I've noticed. So if you have trouble and you're thinking what the hell's going on, that's what my observations were. Foundry controller, blah, 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 same as the smeltery. This one will not alloy. So if you are putting in silver and gold and you don't want to be getting electrum, you won't in the Foundry. How do we make the Foundry? Well, we need scorched bricks, which is made from nether grout, which is magma blocks, soul sand, and gravel. So it's actually quite simple. You just need materials from the nether instead for nether grout. Now, if we're going and getting cobalt, which is the really advanced material that we can get in the nether, and we want to cook it up, well, we can't with lava. Like I said, we need something hotter. We need this here, blazing blood. Now, to get blazing blood, you need to actually burn a blaze in your Foundry, which sounds really difficult, right? What the recommendation here is that, see, you're in the Nether Fortress and there's the blaze spawner. Well, you just set up a Foundry, as you can see, kind of like around this, so that it kind of tricks the blaze into just falling straight into your Foundry, and they're going to burn up, die, and then you get blazing blood. That would be the easiest way to do it. I still think it's a little bit tricky having to do all of this to get blazing blood, but hey-ho. You can also trade with piglins to get blazing blood as well. And the way you can trade with the piglins to get it is through Ichor, an Ichor ball here. And you can melt the... So you can trade with piglins to get the Ichor balls. However, to melt them down, I think you... Ichor crystal cruster... You will need some blazing blood. Yes, so basically, you need to get a little bit of blazing blood from the annoying ways I just showed you. Then you can trade with piglins for Ichor balls, which when melted with blazing blood in the Foundry, will get you some more blazing blood and more Ichor. So basically, you can kind of keep putting it through, I suppose. So you can use the trading to get it, but you will need a bit of blazing blood to get you started. Another way is actually... You'll notice that Tinker's Construct adds blaze heads. And no, you cannot use blaze rods or blaze powder to get blazing blood. Unless the mod pack you're in has changed it, which may be possible. They'd have to recode it. But by default, you cannot get blazing blood with blaze rods or blaze powder. You can, however, get them from blaze heads, melting down blaze heads in the Foundry. You will need the severing modifier. Not just the heads, but the feet and the feathers potentially blasts heads or other parts off targeted melee right off. And it looks like a cleaver, which I showed you in the Tinker's... What's it called? It's in the Tinker's Anvil. The cleaver here, it looks like will actually do that for you. So that is how you can get blaze heads, which is another way of getting your blazing blood. But overall, I think the Foundry is really useful. Once you've got your blazing blood in there, we can then melt down our cobalt. But what can we make with cobalt? So I'm going to go into JEI, click, and then press U on molten cobalt, and go to alloying. With molten quartz and copper, I can make molten hepatizan. With molten debris, which is literally like ancient debris, or diamonds. So one thing I may or may not have mentioned is that when you melt down things in the Foundry, you may get a secondary resource. So melting down a diamond ore will get you 1 diamond, but also 3 nuggets of molten debris. Now, I'm not sure if that's guaranteed, but you can get it. We can also get molten manulin. Yeah, that's the one with the cobalt and the molten debris, molten manulin. And you can see here that it does need blazing blood. So you can always see if it needs blazing blood or lava. And then with magma, molten gold and molten cobalt, we can get molten queen's slime. If we make the book Fantastic Foundry, which is a Nether grout and a book, we can actually look all about the Foundry here. And you can see your tier 4 resources that you can make with it. And as you can see, you can get blazing blood by carrying. You can carry the blazes? How interesting. Oh, look at this. If you were to, you might suggest drink fire resistance, then use a piggy backpack or an Ica sling. Perfect if you want to get burnt to a crisp. Interesting way of doing it. There's also the Foundry method, head melting. Maybe we don't want to melt the entire blaze, if I could find a way to sever the head off. Or melting. Foundry not portable enough? Try turning your tool into a handheld foundry. Perhaps Thrall is smart enough to make something worthwhile after all. Interesting. With a pickaxe, etc. And it shows you what you can use on there. Or bartering with piglins. Then we have the tier 4 materials. Cinder slime, queen slime, hepatazole, manulin, blazing bone, ancient hide, and slimy veins. You can see like the durabilities, etc. here can mine netherite and are really fast and really strong. On all of these are pretty amazing modifiers here. And there we go. That is tier 4 and the Foundry.